So I actually spoke with a few lenders and said, you guys need to use Angel Oak. And they said, oh no, that's not really in our wheelhouse. I thought that was really strange because Angel Oak just really provides you and your company an opportunity to work with clients and approve them in a qualified way where you're currently not doing it. You need to check these guys out. Now, we recorded a webinar with Angel Oak, which is going to tell you everything about their company and why you should work with them. You need to check this out. You need to send this to your boss, and you need to get approved with these guys because subprime, doing it the right way, is coming back. Click this banner there. So yesterday we talked about the problems with the IRS and the 4506T form, and in our comments on yesterday's show, some people said, well, what's a 4506T? Well, here's what it is. A borrower is going to provide tax returns and W-2s. Then a lender is going to take a 4506T form, they're going to send it to the IRS, who's then going to send back the information so they can verify that there's no fraud taking place on the W-2s that the borrower provided. It's a really good idea. Now, it seems in some places the IRS will not verify with the lender. Rather, the borrower needs to make the request. We pointed out that this is stupid, and then we asked for your input.
Well, one of our viewers, Frank Ruzica, said, sad state of affairs. The IRS is pointing to budget cuts for delayed services. Our local IRS office no longer will accept third-party Form 4506 in person, but requires Form 8821. After waiting 2 hours to get transcripts for a borrower who was a victim of identity theft, I was informed by the IRS representative that they would no longer accept the Form 4506. Of course, they want a wet signature. E-signing is not an option. A trip to my client's office and back to the IRS office for another 2-hour wait. Just wait for the upcoming tax season with predicted 20% increases in identity theft.
So as a real estate agent or a client, you might ask, what is your lender doing for you? Well, Frank pointed it out. That's not fun and ridiculous. So true, the tax season, it's coming up. So if your borrowers have to request information from the IRS, do you really think they're gonna get it in a timely fashion? Do you think they're gonna be as diligent as your processor? You know, when you pair your TRID delays with your occasional borrower who doesn't act fast, your closings are going to be super fun and late.
Another one of our viewers, Joe Giagostino from Manahakawan, New Jersey, said, if I recall correctly, wasn't the idea of the 4506T, wasn't it to reduce the fraud involved by the submission by the borrower of phony tax returns? So now the IRS wants the borrower to request online a 4506T? Could not the borrower change the figures there?
You know, Joe Giagostino from somewhere in New Jersey, he's right. And here's the crux of the situation. Now, I laid this out in my first article on Mortgage Shots, and if you want to check it out, you should, mortgageshots.com. But think of it, if your borrower is going to give you doctored W-2s and tax returns for qualifying purposes, and now you put them in charge of a 4506T, don't you think they're going to doctor that one as well? I think so.
Here you go, here's my 4560T straight from the IRS. Looks perfect. So the checks and balances that a lender uses to fight fraud and buybacks by separately ordering 4506T has been canceled out. In short, this move, though done for the right purposes to protect your information, has the unintended consequences of allowing a new opportunity for mortgage fraud. And that's nice.
Sometimes you just have to laugh at how stupid some things are. Anyways, do us a favor and keep sharing your comments about this down below. And by the way, check out the comments. There's some really informative and interesting stuff.
And this is funny. So, you know George Lucas, the Star Wars guy. He wanted to expand his production company in Marin County.
And what y'all need to know about Marin is it's probably the richest and most expensive county in the country, hell, if not the world. It's located opposite of the Golden Gate Bridge and boasts cities such as Sausalito and Tiburon and Belvedere. Now, here's the funny thing. Belvedere, which sounds like a butler's name, is the whitest city in the country. Literally, everybody there is white and rich. We've looked it up on the Census Bureau. So that's the backdrop.
So, Lucas wanted to expand his production company, and all the residents in Marin said, no way! They like their quaint little piece of perfection. So what did George Lucas do? Well, here's a hint. You don't want to mess with the guy that invented the Death Star!
the funny thing. Check this out. George Lucas decided, since he couldn't build or expand upon a studio, that he was going to put in a big, fat, low-income housing tract right in the middle of white Marin. And who do you think's going to live there? Brown people. Now, the question is, do you think he did this to be kind and nice and considerate? Or is it just a big F you at all those people in Marin who shut down his studio, his expansion plans?
Maybe we're a little edgy there saying brown people, but we're just trying to make a humorous point. I think you get the idea. Anyway, personally, I hope it's the big F you to those guys. Now, this is a case of good, unintended consequences. And here's my thing. If this thing gets done, which Marin is fighting right now, I'm going to be the first to apply. Because I have no doubt that I make less than 80% of the median income out there. And I'll invite you guys over for wine and caviar. But the cheap Trader Joe's variety because, I'm a low rent guy. That's hilarious.
Which part?
Can't have my studio? Fine! Low-income housing in the middle of Marin.
I mean, you got to go look up his house, man. It's crazy. I told you before, I said, if I was George Lucas, I would just wear a Darth Vader mask and underwear and carry 2 lightsabers. I wouldn't even speak with my butler or my house servants. I'd just hit them with a lightsaber and point at the fridge. And then when they brought me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I'd hit it out of their hand and point back at the fridge.
Awesome. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Leave us your comments down below. I'm sure we'll get a lot of them. And subscribe for in your upper right-hand corner if you're meeting us for the first time. Don't miss out on that Angel Oak webinar that we recorded. It's right there for the taking. Click their banner. You can download it and see the whole thing and understand why you should introduce them into your business.
Right.
Guys, have a great day. We'll catch you later here at the National Real Estate Post.
Right, butt it down to the bone, baby. Get you back on the rebound. Shit, my mama don't raise no dummies. Bye.